ZM, that's us and them. It's our pop-up podcast. I hope you like it, and if you don't, it's just because, oh my gosh, you're not cool like ZM.
She would be the Z.
Yeah, and he
Zoe!
would be the M.
Me! We ran out of names for the podcast. Oh, we tried a variety of names. Yes, we did. And we just plain got to the bottom. Right there in the Zs, the Zs, and the M. Hello, Zoe.
Yeah, we were really trying to stand out and be different. Hello, good morning. I thought you meant like our actual names as you started talking, and I was like, nah, I've always been Zoe. I really didn't flip-flop to any other names. But...
I go by a variety of things depending on the moment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're wearing the OTT hat that you wore to our when we went to the Charge. You know I love that hat.
Yeah,
oh, I love that hat.
It's a great hat. Honestly, I'm very excited because I finished my 2 curling banquets.
Nice.
My second one was yesterday. Yeah. And I secured and won a Sens shirt. Look at this. Look, it's like, okay, so you can't see it, obviously, if you're listening, but it's a really nice, like, embroidered Sens shirt, like, very bougie.
So it's black. Is it a jersey or is it like a T-shirt?
No,
or
it's a
what is
T-shirt.
it? T-shirt, okay.
T-shirt.
With the embroidered logo, because it's full on, like the full front of the shirt is the logo.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just, like, really nicely embroidered with, like, felt and stuff. I'm very happy to add that to my collection because I didn't have a T-shirt. I only had a sweater.
How did you live?
I know.
Girl.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I have the same outfit every time I go. I've obviously added the hat. But yeah, no, thank you. My friend complimented the hat yesterday when we went to go watch the game at Pubwell's. And yeah,
you knew that the game was on. I got a text from a friend of mine mid-afternoon yesterday saying, "Are you watching this?" I'm like, "Watching what?" She was so angry at me. She was so angry at me. I just assumed it was Saturday. The games would be on, when hockey games are normally on in the evening.
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was very odd, but it still worked out for me because
because Pubwell's.
Yeah, because Pubwell's in the afternoon. It was lovely. They had the door open. The breeze was coming in. It was lovely. Lovely.
Well, it turns out just as well I didn't watch because apparently, not apparently, we know now it was not a great result. And I've seen the highlights. So
also just not a great game.
Not a great game, but that was a goal. That was a goal.
I know. Yeah.
We need to, in the NHL, you know how in the NFL now they've got some sort of sensors built into their footballs. And so, yes, they go by the camera and they go by, replay, but there's a digital measurement that lets them know exactly on the field where the tip of the ball was. We have to be able to put something into a hockey puck around the outside perimeter that would determine whether or not it was actually past the goalpost. This does not seem like difficult technology to implement.
No, I mean, if we can do it with curling rocks to tell you whether you're still touching the rock after the hog line, we can absolutely.
Example.
Yeah, like I think it's magnets. It's a very simple system. I remember watching a video. Clearly, did not retain any of it, but it seemed like a very simple system of how they,
I mean, I like the human element to sports, and I like sometimes when the calls are wrong because it gives fans a lot to talk about and discuss. But at the end of the day, for the money you pay, you're kind of owed, that they get it right for you.
Yeah. No, and I mean, talking about like the ABS that came into the MLB this year, right? With like people now calling the ump and saying, no, I think that was a strike, not a ball. Like, things like that.
That's slowing it down and annoying me.
It is slowing it down a little bit, which is kind of funny because I think their whole point is to speed up the game a bit. But yeah, I don't know. We're working on it. We're figuring it out slowly but surely. But
the Sens lost, the Charge won, so they're holding on to a playoff spot with a couple of games left to go. We love our Ottawa Charge. Get out and see a Charge game. Get out and see a Charge game.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to go to like 2 this month, so
nice.
I am all charged up.
Aha!
Not charged out.
Well, that's one of us. And as you can tell by my laugh, I still sound like a 10-pack-a-day smoker. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Dude,
That
same.
that cold is still hanging on, man. In fact, Zoe,
It's going to.
I never, ever, ever take days off work. I was off work Monday, Tuesday this past week.
Dude, I was getting worried because you were like, I'm going to possibly go to the hospital. And
I
I'm like,
was
holy
this close.
cow.
I was this close.
I know. And I was like, I don't think he would just be joking about.
No, I could. Zoe,
No, and
I
then
could
when
not breathe.
I
I
said-
was choking.
Well, and when I said, like, what is going on with you?
I know.
And you were saying, like, choking, not breathing. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, definitely you should be. Yeah, we don't want your airways impeded in any way, shape, or form. That's a pretty quick death, I hear. So,
Yeah. Well,
we don't want that.
Sue had her finger on the 911. She was ready to go, and I was like, no.
Oh.
I just got to sit up and change my position. I can make this. It's like but I can make this. I can do like I'm climbing Mount Everest or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
The hill of man cold.
well, and that's what all my women friends say to me.
No, I was just joking. I knew it was.
Oh, but this I know you're joking, but some of them are dead serious. Like it's called the man cold. Suck it up, Buttercup. No, this was beyond man cold. Like I said, there was a good 10 years when I worked at Cool FM, Bob FM, where I never once took a sick day, and I was proud of that.
To take
I'll fight through the man cold. Damn it, this was
it was hard to take a sick day when your entire job is how you sound, and you sound horrible. Like no one wants to listen to you. Sorry.
I think that's more on the announcer side. I think the listeners more.
But then you also feel horrible, so you're not there.
That's
right.
You're not performing. Right. You're not.
Yeah.
Performing
You're not on. You can't be on physically, and so for you to take days off, and you did tell me that as well. I was like, this is more than a man cold, because you would. I feel like you're a very realistic individual in the regards of like, if it was a man cold, you would own up to being a baby about it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I'd make it into an entire bit.
That's what I was saying. It's content for the show.
Yeah.
But so is this cold, apparently. So just like all the colds are. No, but honestly, I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. Because I was worried when you texted me that. And like, I'm sorry, but you are gonna sound weird and even me, like it comes and goes still. And like there are, complete afternoons where I'm completely fine, and then 2 hours later, all of a sudden I kind of sound nasally again, congested. Yeah. So it hangs on. It hangs on, whatever it is.
I mean, in our industry, we're sticklers for the voice, not unlike a singer would be, or an actor or anyone who does anything where they need to orate for a living. That said, so I was off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was starting to feel, I was feeling good enough that I got back on the air. And by Wednesday afternoon, I had received 3 sheets of lines to read for, I'm the voice. I'm not hosting on a number of stations, but I'm the voice of those stations. So I'm that voice you hear between the songs that tells you, Springfield's #1 hit music station, blah, 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 FM. I'm that guy for about 40 radio stations in the States. Well, I added 2 more this past week. So they were hanging on thank you. They were hanging on for me to do these liners for them. The day that I came back on the air, I thought, I'm going to hop in the booth. I'm going to give these a go. It may have been one of the best radio station imaging sessions I have ever done. Because beyond the nasal, if I could just suck back the wheezing sounds, because I had this bronchial infection, it was awful. If I could just, go through and edit those out, what I delivered to them was an otherwise very relaxed voice that hadn't been used in a few days, and I freaking nailed that session.
When it works in your favor, make it work in your favor. Yeah.
So good, so good.
Yes.
We should not dismiss the hockey so quickly. 67s, thank you for a great season. Sadly, they lost their series to Barrie 4-1. So, yep.
You'll get them next year, guys.
That's it. That's it. And
forever optimistic.
Is it next year that the new arena opens for them, or is it a little longer than that? Do you know? Do you remember?
I mean, I'm also a realistic individual, and I understand construction timelines, and I don't ever believe them. So, like,
Zoe,
not just No,
Zoe, in
not just
case you,
downgrading.
Zoe, in
just
case
maybe
you don't know,
Ottawa.
works in real estate. So this is where that's coming from. Go ahead.
It
Sorry.
is not just the fact that it's Ottawa, it is everywhere.
Yes.
Anytime someone's like, we're gonna have it built by this day, I'm like, are you? Are you gonna?
But do we know what the ETA is for that?
I believe it is supposed to be for next summer.
Wow. Okay. That's fast.
Cause yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a box
With
that they're
a
filling
pretty
with the
expensive ice maker in it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the same.
It's not like they're putting
That's the
10,000
people.
seats into the place, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, okay. Move on from that. We don't want to get political.
Just a little stab. Speaking of stab, Byward Market.
Oh, see, we congratulations, by the way, to all of our winners who won their way to the
Yes.
Laugh Lounge to see Lauren's comedy show, which is a great theme, by the way, built on birthdays. And so all the comedians that were on stage on Thursday were under the sign of Aries.
Yep.
You were there as a guest.
Yep.
But I mean, we heard from a number of people saying, is that in the Byward Market? And you just know what they're saying, right? Like, ew, Byward Market, ew. And you sort of try and go, oh, get over it. It's not that bad. What do I know? I've not been to the Byward Market in years. And then, yeah, another stabbing incident that you're pretty upset people just stood around and watched.
Well, no, it was well, first off, I feel like every day or at least after every weekend, I feel like now I'm seeing posts in droves of situations happening in the Byward Market, and it just to me seems to be getting more and more out of hand. Known because obviously I've lived in Ottawa my whole life that things down there have become slowly rougher and rougher, and people are not only moving out of the area in droves because of the concern for their well-being, but also, yeah, the lack of people going down to the Byward Market. Especially with new places like History coming in and stuff like that, and larger crowds hopefully being dragged down there. My concern is like, well, where's the violence going?
Enticed. Nobody's dragging anybody. Enticed.
No, sure, yes, enticed, but people are. I mean, well, maybe the LRT's dragging them down, but
yeah, well, okay. Touché.
But yeah, like, so to me, it's just more people are gonna hopefully, and obviously for tourism, we want people going down to the Byward Market.
Yeah.
But my concern is how safe are they if they are going down, and that to me, as a general whole, is so upsetting. As an Ottawa person who has lived here her whole life, who used to wander around the Byward Market with little to no fear, and now even at 30 years old and walking with my friends from the parking garage to the Laugh Lounge, my head's on a swivel like the whole time. And
Is it fair to say, though, Zoe, and listen, I don't leave the house much. You go out significantly more than I do. I've found that pretty much anywhere in this city, there's the potential for violence, and it's an increase not just in the Byward Market. I think it's more magnified at the Byward Market because it is our tourism hub, because it is the focal point of our city. When people from outside of Ottawa talk about coming here, they talk about the Byward Market. So,
well, and that's like our drinking district, like that's,
Or-
there's
or
bars
used
at
to
every corner, or it used to be. But like, I mean, as of recent, at least this week, I don't know if it happened on the weekend or what, but I ended up seeing a video of, a girl getting attacked, and I don't know the situation that led up to it. I don't care regardless. My issue with the video, not only for the violence, but that these two individuals are just hitting this person and no one does anything. No one says anything. People are recording it. Like, and it's full. And I'm not saying, oh, because you're a man, you have to step in. But like, there are multiple men in that video and none of them even try to break up the situation. And like, that just broke me, because I thought, if anything, an Ottawa person would have your back. Like, we would, say something, or at least just be like, hey, cut that out, like, so it really broke me to see that not people didn't step in. So
I agree
that
with
hurt.
you, and we see it so often in the comment section whenever a video of that nature is posted, and people are like, Why are people just standing around with their phones? Why is nobody helping? My experience, I stepped in once upon a time to try and help someone in a violent situation, in a potentially harmful to themselves situation. I chose to be the adult in the room. I chose to get involved. And I ended up with a death threat and having to go to court. And I think people have this knowledge that if you do get involved in a situation, it's not over and done with once you separate the two parties in that incident, for example. No, if charges are laid, now you're going to court. Now you can be charged because you laid a hand on someone. People are scared to get involved because,
and I understand that, and also you don't know what people are carrying in their pockets, or what their friend has on them, and I completely understand, especially with the increase in gun violence that we've seen, and other weapons. Like, I understand people not wanting to step in, but like it just again, where with the increase in violence, where were the police in this situation? Where was there should have been someone that you could have yelled to be like, hello, like what is happening?
Be everywhere.
Here?
The police. I
understand, but the Byward Market is not a big place, and we know it's an issue. That's my problem. And they were supposed to have a police hub there.
And I'm not excusing anything, right? And I'm certainly not trying to defend the police, but I've been around emergency services enough to know that, or to give them a little grace.
Yes, I know.
And we don't know what other incidents they were dealing with, big or small. We don't know what other incidents they were dealing with in that area. Right? Yeah. Like the Byward Market covers what conservatively 10, 12 blocks. It's a large space. Even if you've got a dozen officers, that's only one per street. Like it takes some time to get places, and we just don't know what else they are dealing with in that particular moment.
Of course,
I don't know.
Understand that.
I don't know what the situation was.
But yeah, I just find it very, interesting that, we're talking about securing the area more and bringing more police presence, and we're, and I understand there's a shortage in emergency services and people, willing to step up and do that kind of work. But yeah, it just seemed really disheartening to see a video like that, because that could have been anyone. Like that could have been a family who was just, like, again, I don't know what the full, like what happened leading up to that. Regardless, like it's like that could have been a family just coming to visit Ottawa, and that's not this is not how I grew up in Ottawa. This is not the headlines we would see.
It's definitely a different city than it was.
And this is not this isn't my city. Like, and I see videos like that and I'm like, what? This is why people don't go out. This is why, like,
it's not our city. It's not the city we grew up in, Zoe, but I mean, the city it's doubled in size.
And I understand
between amalgamation and it's continuing to grow, and we're in a situation where people, especially in like the solution for the Byward Market is so complicated because it comes down to anybody who's homeless. All of the shelters for homelessness are down there. All of the food resources are down there. So it's a magnet for those people as well. And then you've got people who want to go out for a nice night, and it's this clash of cultures and and money and lifestyle, and and if we move it out of the Byward Market, move it where? No, nobody wants it, right? So this is the double-edged sword, and this is what politicians for ages now have been trying to sort of figure out and resolve. I don't know what the answer is, but yeah, it's definitely impacting the Byward Market. But if all of a sudden Spark Street became the new entertainment hub, Elgin Street's been pretty well known for entertainment as well. I don't see the same problems on Elgin Street. And I think it's because it's just far enough away from homeless shelters and, like the park. I think instantly of that white parking garage, the one that's on George Street and backs onto York Street. Mm-hmm. That awful white parking garage. When I worked in the Byward Market, that was the only place.
But it's awful, but it's got a really fun ramp.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy the
My
ramp
mother-in-law
there.
didn't find it so fun because
I found it fun.
that was with my pickup truck. That's the only parking garage in the city that I found that my truck actually fits in. So I
Oh, that's
parked there every
interesting. I
single
would
day.
have thought no. Like I would have thought no, you wouldn't have fit in that one.
I
But
did
oh,
barely,
that's weird.
barely, and that's the
Barely.
thing, right? So I got so used to it, I wasn't worried anymore about the big concrete beams actually crushing the roof of my vehicle. So my mother-in-law was in the Byward Market one day, and I'll give you a ride home, of course. And I'm like booting it down that ramp because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a circle, wee. And she's white knuckles and looking at me like I'm going to kill you.
But
So,
it is a great spiral ramp.
but it's all yeah. But the staircase is a whole other issue, as you know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying is the like it's such a mess. I don't have the answers. I don't have the solution. I think it's sad. I hope that, when something like history opens, it starts to change the vibe. Because
Well,
I also think
but
there's been a
that
cultural shift though too, Zoe, where people don't like going out anymore. And if they do,
well,
they
I think the
stick close
pandemic
to home.
definitely caused a lot of that for
Yeah,
sure.
like people like what's the Byward Market giving me that I can't get in my neighborhood in Stittsville or in my neighborhood in Barhaven or in my neighborhood in Orleans?
Yes, no, and I understand like because of the way the city is laid out and the infrastructure that we currently have, hopefully getting better every day. Yeah, it is difficult at the moment to make their way down to the Byward Market, but again, I think the city is, and it's construction, it all takes time, is trying to plan towards what is a already very growing community in Ottawa. But yeah, my concern is just with more people going down there because again, I think it's about 2,000 people that history can,
Yep.
isn't it? Yeah. So with possibly 2,000, and some of the shows have already sold out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like so there are 2,000 people, going right down into it. One of, in my opinion, the worst intersections, which is, Rideau and is it York Street? No, Sussex. Sussex.
Yeah, well,
Like
it's Rideau and it's George Street and it's and yeah, the side of the building is along
yeah,
Sussex.
well, but it's just that whole like where you get off at the LRT station and then walk through that intersection there, like across
So
Rideau
that's
from
that's
Rideau
Rideau Street.
Center.
Yeah, because you get off of
Yeah,
Rideau
Rideau
Station.
Street and Sussex, that corner, those corners, like in my opinion, is probably one of the worst intersections other than King Edward. But
And it's easy to say, oh, the LRT station is going to be, where the funnel is, where these people are coming from. You and I both
yeah,
know the people are going to 2,000 people going to a pretty reckless show at History in the Byward Market. Maybe 400 are going to take the LRT. Everybody else is looking for a parking spot because that's just Ottawa. So now we're wandering through the Byward Market.
well, that I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to park a distance because there's no way there's gonna be any sort of like,
But,
no.
but that's not any different from back in the days when it was club after club after club in the Byward Market.
Of course,
Parking was
yeah.
the challenge.
And now with Uber and stuff like that, like there are other ways
Yeah,
of getting
maybe.
there safely, especially if you're drinking. But yeah, my concern is when 2,000 people swarm down there, possibly what's going to happen. Like it's not a big sidewalk. It's a busy area. I get very nervous of people's safety on a regular basis anyways, without the violence that we've been seeing in that area. But I don't know, it's just yeah, it's just been a lot lately that I just been seeing.
I found a place, and it's right in your neck of the woods, and I know you've heard of it. You've not been yet, but if somebody is wanting a night out or even an afternoon out to do something really cool and different that does not involve the Byward Market, are you okay going to Bronson Avenue? Because there's a brand new hi-fi listening lounge at 473 Bronson. This place, and I'm an audiophile, and I know your dad is an audiophile, so he'll.
Well, and that's why I sent it to you. Like I knew that it was being worked on and open. So then once it opened and there was like a really nice video of the space,
Oh my God.
I was like, I have to send this to and I showed my dad last night at the curling banquet. And so yeah, for you as well. I was like,
You know what?
this
I'm
is your
overdue. I need
jam.
to take your dad and Jan out. So that may be an opportunity just to go
Yeah.
and experience this. Because if you like every speaker in this place is specifically designed, and the placement is done so
Of it.
purposefully that the overall room is, you're supposed to be able to, no matter where you are in the room, be able to have a conversation without yelling and without anybody else sort of, by virtue of you yelling, hearing your conversation. But at the same
Yeah.
time, the music impacts you loudly enough that it moves you. And everything being played, and there is a dance floor, but it's also like a little cafe and restaurant. But
Well, and then there's the space in the back for live bands, which
I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah. So there's also a space for live bands. My
Okay.
buddy Matt had a show with his band there on
Nice.
Saturday, and it was sold out. So
So
couldn't even go. Thanks, Matt.
I thought yeah, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
I thought it was just DJs, because what I was going to say is the DJs, they're not even playing CDs. It's all vinyl.
Yes.
Really trippy, really cool.
Yes, yeah. And in the video, my buddy Jose doing the DJing there, that was great. I know.
Wait, you know the guys in the band, and you know the DJ, and
Yes.
you are so bougie. You are
Well,
bougie beyond your workplace, girl.
Should I then mention that I know the guy? Probably I know one of the people who probably had a hand in that speaker. So yeah,
Go ahead.
very much,
Go
very
ahead.
heavily into the speaker. Yeah, we love Tom. We love Tom.
Drop the
Tom's
name.
great.
There you
Tom
go.
makes beautiful speakers. I've been obsessed with Tom's woodworking for a while. But yeah, also Push Come Shove. That's my buddy Matt's band. Check them out on Instagram.
Called
They're
Push Come
wonderful.
Shove?
Yeah.
That's a great name.
It's a great name.
Oh
And
my
I was
God.
again, I was so bummed that I couldn't go to the show, but I was so happy for him that it sold out. So yeah, great job, Matt.
I had
And
on
Push
one of
Come
my
Shove.
on one of my fun facts this week. I had a fun fact that said something along the lines of, in our lifetime, 20% of people will have done this, and the answer was 20% of people will have played in a band. And I had a quick little joke at the end of that when I when I did it on the air. I said, "Yep, you're listening to a guy who used to be in the Hopping Penguins," right? Like, just mocking the name. Push Comes Shove is a great name. Hopping
Yeah.
Penguins, not so much.
Yeah, definitely a boom-tsh moment. For
Thank
sure.
you.
But yeah,
Here,
check
here,
out
here,
Push
here,
Come
here.
Shove.
I got you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I sounded just like it.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely check out Push Come Shove. Definitely check out Phono. They're phenomenal. It looks like a great place. The cocktails look phenomenal. The bites look phenomenal. Yeah, it looks like a really cool space that, again, it's just these little pockets of cool that we have in Ottawa, and this is just added to it. It's in a really neat location on Bronson
Pockets of
there.
Cool would also be a good band name, by the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and if anyone's looking for art for their album cover, I was looking through all my granddad's photos, and honestly, there's some album worthy photos that he has taken.
Not
Yeah,
that you're biased or anything.
No. My roommate even said it too.
You shared one that your grandfather took of the Twin Towers. And,
yes.
and he was
and that's actually what we were talking about when I was
Okay.
showing him all these other photos. But
So,
there
yeah.
was a really Yes, yeah, there was that one, of course, with the Twin Towers, which I still have to figure out what to do with. But there was another one that was just really cool. Of just it was probably not a vintage car at the time, but a car of that time on a beach with its doors
Nice.
wide open, and it's just this lovely green water, and then this striking yellow vintage car sitting on the sand. And it's just to me, I'm that is an album cover. That is so cool looking.
Hey, speaking of cars, we want to thank McCarthy Automotive.
Automotive.
They're our title sponsor on this podcast for all of your automotive needs. We're talking repair. We're talking maintenance. It is tire changeover season. Absolutely, they do that. If you are frustrated going into store after store, looking online and trying to figure out the whole tire thing, talk to McCarthy Automotive. They can get you every major brand. And yes, they do tire storage as well. So it's one less thing in your garage, more room for your golf clubs, more room for a bigger mower. There you go. More room for a bigger mower. If that doesn't sell you on McCarthy Automotive, I don't know what will. I've been dealing with them for ages now. It is a family-owned and operated business, owned right here in Ottawa. So it's 1150 Heron Road, right between Calidar and Bank Street, if that is convenient for you. McCarthyAutomotive.ca. They do fleet vehicles as well. You will often see a number of company vehicles parked out front because those companies also know that they are back on the road with the work done right and as quickly as possible and at a price that is not going to break the bank. McCarthyAutomotive.ca. Bringing you ZM. And I want to tie that into my whole week has been
Your whole week.
but okay, excluding the 2 days where I was on death's door with the man cold. I am in the market right now for the pickup truck. I love my Ram, but it's just too much vehicle for
Ram.
It's sitting in my driveway most of the time, right? Like I'm putting less than 3,000 kilometers a year on this thing. I bought it to tow the boat, sold the boat years ago. I'd like to be in something a little more efficient. So,
especially with these gas prices, I don't blame
well,
you.
and that's certainly a factor as well. But I was, kicking tires, so to speak, even before all hell broke loose. So I've been contacting dealers here and there about certain vehicles, and I contacted one earlier this week, and I'm not going to name names. I don't want to be that person because every company makes mistakes. Every person makes mistakes. And I want to offer.
Everybody has those days.
Yeah. So. And besides which, who this is, irrelevant. The bigger story is this. So, well, okay. The bigger story will reveal itself. Let me get to this. I contacted this dealership through their website because they had a vehicle that ticked every box. I want leather interior, want moonroof, cruise control, air conditioning, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the works.
So I'm finding this vehicle with cloth seats. I'm finding this vehicle without the moonroof. No, I'm deserving of leather, please. It's. I don't have many luxuries in my life.
My tushy deserves leather.
I'm naughty. I like leather, and yes, my tushy deserves leather. So, and I mean, I clicked it on the website probably 11 o'clock at night. Woke up the next morning, 6 a.m. I get an email from a sales representative.
Nice.
And I replied almost instantly, wonderful to hear back from you. Yes, I'd like to see the vehicle. And he offered me 2 slots that day, like 9:15 and 10:30 in the morning. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm not available today. I was thinking sometime on the weekend. Okay, And he says, we'll make an appointment. Moments later, I get a text from someone else at the dealership. And I said to her, oh, hi, nice to hear from you. Earlier this morning, I got a response from this person. And I don't want to be stepping on any toes. In fact, I said exactly that. And she replied to me saying, don't worry about that. We're all one big team here, and we work together at blankety blank, 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 blank. Oh, okay. So she was asking me questions about my trade-in. What's the VIN number? What's the mileage? What's my home address? Just to verify that I am the owner of the vehicle. And back and forth it went. And then she says to me, and this used to happen more than it does today, but it happens occasionally, and this was one of those occasions. Are you John Milkey from the radio?
Yeah.
Oh, how nice. Someone remembers
I've
me.
been noticed.
Right? And I said, yes. And the response was, our staff here are going to be so excited to know they're dealing with the milkman. And I was so flattered by this. And
you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, thanks for acknowledging my, awesomeness.
So she set up an appointment for me on Saturday, which is when I reached out to you and said, hey, can we move the podcast recording to Sunday? Because so this is a dealership. It's not in town. It would have required me to drive over 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Okay. So Zoe,
definitely not local.
Right. Can I move the podcast? Listen, the last car I bought, I went to Kitchener for. Right. So 2 hours is frankly not as bad. But I want what I want. I'm 57 years old. I don't ask for much in life. I just, but when it comes to this, I'm giving up. I'm giving up a vehicle I love.
Yeah.
By choice. But I still want to maintain a little bit of luxury. So I'll go out of my way to find it. And I'd had great experiences with a dealership in Hawkesbury, with one in Smiths Falls, and several other areas in and around Ottawa, including some in Ottawa. But this one was a little out of the way, no problem. I need Saturday to get there. So I set up an appointment. And then the sales rep who had emailed me gets back to me and reveals that the other salesperson I'd been texting with was an AI.
Wait, we're like, it wasn't like, you know how sometimes they use like short form acronyms for like another, like an assistant?
Mm-hmm.
Assistant. I don't know. What would the I be?
The only clue I was given was in the initial text message that I received. If you wish to not receive these texts, type or reply stop now. That doesn't tell me AI. I guess it kind of does, but
no, but
the AI went so far as to look me up on the internet and know that John Milkey is likely the radio guy and played to that.
Yeah.
So when dude called me back, and he actually and he's on the phone, and he says, "Oh, that person's my AI. Isn't it wonderful?" I said, "No." I said, "No, I don't appreciate that at all." He laughed.
Of course, you feel tricked.
He laughed and brushed it off.
Oh, that's bad. That's not good.
And so I'm sitting here letting that simmer. And then later on that afternoon, I talked to my wife and I said, I don't feel right about this. I feel duped.
Yeah.
The car industry's already got enough of a reputation of being, somewhat smarmy and slimy and,
Yeah.
not necessarily trustworthy. And listen,
I don't say it's a great way to start a relationship. That's for sure. Like,
and it's not that it's AI. Like our show intro, that's AI. Like, so we're using AI. I use AI in the course of my day to day for show research or to, take a piece, a really great article that I've discovered. And could you just boil it down to bullet points for me? So, I'm using AI. It's not that it's AI. It's that it was not disclosed to me that it was AI that I found to be so off-putting. So I emailed the sales rep back and I said, I'm really bothered by this and I feel duped by this. I don't want to do business with you and I will not be there on Saturday morning as we booked in my appointment. No need to reply. Which he did reply, and the only reply, what did he reply with? It was like, Happy New Year. Well, whatever. Anyway.
Weird.
So,
okay.
Which was weird. Pardon me. And then
AI.
So Saturday, I get a message from this dealership saying, hey, you missed our appointment that you had booked with us. Wondering if there's a time for you to come and do that test drive later today or sometime next week. And I replied back, knowing it's AI, I'm not, I canceled that appointment. Then I get I get a text message from a different number, and it's the manager.
Yeah.
Telling me that, you're the only person objecting to AI. Our customers have loved this so far. And our sales team, they're so busy. They're so busy, Zoe, that this frees them up to be doing other things. You ever walk into a car dealership? You ever seen a salesperson just so busy on a Thursday morning?
Nope.
Like, and I know if I walked into that place on a Thursday morning, right? Like, they would have been sitting at their desk, maybe going over some numbers, maybe, reading some material on the cars. I'm not saying they're slacking off by any stretch, but if you walked in the door, you'd have 10 people pouncing on you, desperate for your business, right? But now you're going to put AI in place while you sit back and do what? Play solitaire? Come on. And back and forth it went with this manager. So the long story short is, he then reveals to me, after about 2.5 hours of back and forth on this and why I objected to it, and it's not that it was an AI, it's that it was not disclosed. So two things. He said, well, that's good feedback. Thank you. The corporate overlords will be interested in that feedback. Would it be more to your liking if the statement said something like, I am this company's AI named blah, blah, blah? Yep, that would satisfy that. And somebody pointed out in my comments on Facebook when I brought this up, the disclosure is no different from when you make a phone call to a business and you get that your call may be recorded for training purposes. Okay, I'm aware. Now I have the option to, nope, I don't want to be recorded. I'm going to hang up and go away.
Yeah.
Which may be upsetting and piss me off because I called there for a reason, but at least it was disclosed to me. And that's my only point. So, but the other part of this is, after almost well over 2 hours of back and forth on this, he then says to me, which vehicle was it you were interested in? And it was a beautiful little Nissan Rogue. Mm-hmm. And he says, well, we have 90 of those. You'll have to refresh my memory on which one. I'm like, you have 9. Your website says you have 9. Oh, well, we're associated with this dealership and this dealership and this dealership and this dealership. No. So it's he's not even aware which dealership I came to them
calling
from.
About. Yeah.
So but then he says to me, oh, that car was sold on Thursday.
Are you kidding me?
Zoe,
why would you integrate AI if you can't even keep track of your inventory properly?
Thank you.
That's so silly. Prioritize actually being useful to your customers. You having an AI platform that steals all my information, and I don't know what you're doing with it, because that's my main issue, is the collection of data without permission, and how in the future this could really come back on a lot of people for just giving their information away without knowing.
And that's why I wanted to bring this up on the podcast. I want people to be aware that as tech savvy as I am, and I'm quite aware, I like to think I'm quite aware, but I got duped, and this is in play, not just in the car business, it's in play in all kinds of businesses. The person you're chatting with, the person, quote unquote, and it may not be revealed to you. It may not be revealed, but they sold the car on Thursday. So had I kept my appointment on the Saturday and done well over a 2-hour drive, so I would have walked in the door, I would have asked for the salesperson.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, a friend of mine went through a similar car buying experience lately, walked into the showroom of a dealership and said, oh, I've been dealing with Samantha or whoever. And the receptionist went, oh, Samantha's not here today. And then her eyes kind of went down, and he says, is Samantha an AI? And the receptionist kind of went, yeah, sorry, but yeah. They know it's smarmy. They know this is happening.
Yeah.
So he experienced that. He went through the process anyway and dealt with a human. So had I gone there on the Saturday, so I would have driven over 2 hours. I would have asked for the AI name and been given that whole, oh, she's not here today. All right. Then I would have asked for the other sales rep who emailed me, who would have had no knowledge of which specific car I was coming 2+ hours to see. Are you shitting me right now?
Yeah.
Come on. So then what? Then he's going to go and find, oh, that's been sold. Hey, let me try and sell you on another car? Dude, let me tell you how that conversation would have gone.
Yeah. No, it's
then had I shown up and that had happened, I would be throwing your name under the bus for every single listener on this podcast. Plus, do you know how big an audience I have in my radio show? Not that I would throw, legally I can't, but I'm pretty smart at dropping hints that people can put 2 and 2 together on.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm special, but word of mouth is the bottom line, right? I would have told anybody and everybody just how smarmy an experience is. And then I would have been driving 2+ hours back home angry. Where do you think this was going to go? I think the manager at the end of the day kind of clued in, and I mentioned to him twice, thank you, by the way. The one good thing about this is you've given me a lot to talk about on my podcast. He never bothered to do what his AI did. He never Googled me. Had he Googled me, he may have had a little more, oh, shit. Yeah, that's someone who can really spread some serious bad word of mouth about us. We better fix this. But he's offering me incentives on new cars. And I'm not in the market for a new car. I don't have the budget for a new car. I'm looking to get something for around what my truck is worth.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely to implement something like that, but not be able to implement something that would allow you very quickly to determine how many cars you have on your lot and if there's cars available and
Which
why
car
are
the
they
customer clicked on our website to look at specifically, who they
well, but
talked
then
to.
why was it still on the website? You know, like it's just kind of like all of it's just you think you're bringing this thing in for convenience, but that's not what your customers actually require is convenience, and you're actually causing yourself more of a headache. And you just want to sit there and be like, oh, well, no one else has complained. And it's like, well, maybe someone should have a lot sooner because you're clearly not giving the car buyer the experience that they're looking for. Because
So
I don't think anyone is looking for that kind of experience or customer service.
you're exactly right when you say that, and we touched on it earlier. Oh, well, the customer feedback we've received so far is that they love the AI, and I'm a big believer that it all comes down to how you ask the question and the
Yeah.
questions that you ask. And I base that on the number of years I've been in radio where they do audience testing, where they go into an auditorium or a room full of people and they play 10 or 15 seconds of a song. And the question is, I like the song, I don't like the song, I'm familiar with the song, I'm not familiar with the song. And based on those responses, that generates the playlist you hear on the radio station. And I'm like, well, you're not asking if people are, never want to hear that song again, how it makes them feel, what emotions. You're not asking really hard-hitting
Yeah.
questions here. So the question I asked on my Facebook, and thank you to all who replied, was this. In your opinion, as a customer, should a business, any business, by the way, but in your opinion, as a customer, should a business have to disclose to you when you are talking to an AI? Jen says, yes, I would definitely want to know. Lynn, yes, I don't trust AI, and frankly, I think it's underhanded to make someone think they are talking to a human when it's AI. Lori,
Yeah.
absolutely, one should know who they're talking to. There should be some disclaimer as this conversation may be recorded with the opportunity to opt out. Exactly.
Yeah.
Irene says, if we have to disclose that we are recording a call, they should have to disclose that you are talking to an AI. Sensing the trend here, this is very different from the feedback that manager guy
Yes.
has gotten.
Yeah, yeah.
Lorraine says,
Yeah.
when I've been inquiring for vehicles, I've given them a wrong phone number just so they don't bother me. Okay, that's a different conversation, Lorraine, but thank you nonetheless. Heather says, I would definitely want to know. That absolutely sucks, John. Seriously, they should legally have to disclose that up front. Nancy says, agreed. You should know that you're not talking to a human. Wendy says, I do not
Yeah.
want to talk to an AI. No, thank you. Jose, pardon me, says, this should definitely be disclosed. I would be so frustrated. Anyway, close
The
to
overwhelming response is yes, it should be disclosed that like that you're talking to
29
AI.
responses. One of them was a smart ass response. I am AI. Thank you. Piss off. But you do you. And the other one was, we got to get used to it because AI is the future. Okay. I accept that AI is the future, but we need there needs to be
There's
some
nothing
serious
wrong with just
conversation.
giving some disclosure. Like again, recording phone calls was a thing of the future when it first came out, but they have been disclosing that your phone calls are being recorded for as long as I can remember. So
And then the person pushed back saying, well, who monitors that? I don't know who monitors that, but someone
don't know.
has to. And there needs to be
Someone
a legal recourse for consumers on this, in
but
my
also
opinion.
the other thing is security. And one, this is just opening up doors for people to use your business as an opportunity to scam other people.
Yep.
Two, the other thing, this person made the AI. Where does all that information go? Is it being kept safe? Where did your phone number, address, full name, all of that end up
Mm-hmm.
going? Where can
Mm-hmm.
it go? Because my concern is with these smaller businesses using AI, not saying it's just on smaller businesses, big businesses too. Sorry, but we see data breaches all the time from things like hospitals to, Fortune 500 companies. So if you're just a small dealership, what gives me the trust that whatever security or IT guy you have is keeping that information safe from the people who really want it? Like, I don't know.
You're so spot on, and this is my concern. I felt I was dealing with a human being, so at a dealership. So I felt that by virtue of the business transaction that we are discussing, my information is being used, responsibly. No, Instead, I find out I'm dealing with a bot. So I've given this bot my full name, my address, the value of my vehicle, dollar
The
amount.
mileage.
You know I want it gone. If I'm a criminal element, that creates opportunity, does it not? I've given you the VIN number, so now you can verify my address. You even know which finance company I bought it from. I went to Clutch, which is an online buying platform, just to get an estimate of what my truck was worth. Just by putting my plate number in, it knows everything about my vehicle. So I don't know where my personal information went.
Yeah. Yep.
This
That's the
thing
big
knows
concern.
so much about me and my address and the value of a vehicle sitting in my driveway and that I want it gone and. It really upset me. And the whole experience from the sales rep to the manager was, oh, it's not that big a deal. Sorry, the numbers that I've got from my own research tell me a different story. Except for two people in my comment section, one of which was just being a goofball, the other one who just doesn't see AI as a problem.
Well, I
But
don't think the person sees it as a problem,
exclusively,
yeah.
Zoe, like not one person said, I have no problem with that. Exclusively, everybody said, yeah,
Yeah.
that should
that's
be
an issue.
disclosed.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Disclose it. We have no issue.
Well, speaking of questions,
Oh, yes.
well, we have this or that and why.
It is that time, isn't it? Yes.
It is
By the
that
way,
time.
just before we move on, I'm still looking for a late model Nissan Rogue, moonroof.
You can
leather
call
seats.
555. You can show up at address.
Our contact information is on our website, zmshow.com, and you better believe I'm going to take it to McCarthy Automotive and have them inspect it and look after it and maintain it properly for
No
me.
matter what dealership he gets it from.
No, there's one I'm not going to do business with.
Well, yes, we gathered that, I think, at this point.
Anyway, yes, let's move on to this or that and why. This is kind of fun. We've got a listener who's been with us since day one. His name is Dave, and every single week he sends us, like 10 of these?
Yep.
Where it's two options, and Zoe's got to pick one and explain why, and I got to pick one and explain why. And as always, the incredible Zoe Thorne, rocking her new Senator's embroidered shirt and her OTT hat, will lead things off.
So this or that and why? Shower in the morning or taking a shower at night?
By virtue of my work schedule and that I work from home, my preference is to shower first thing in the morning, but I find that I'm doing that more at night.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, with the schedule
Getting out of
that you
bed,
run.
getting out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning sucks.
Yeah, and then to think about having to get in the shower and do all of that before, yeah, that's
When you don't have to, because who's going to see you? Yeah.
yeah. And no one can smell you through the radio, which is great.
Thank goodness for that. This or that and why, Zoe?
Yeah.
Fresh cut flowers
Ooh.
or a new house plant? What a great question for you.
Ooh.
What a great question.
I mean, I have a lot of house plants, and I've had
I
to
know.
get creative with where to put them all, where they get, sufficient sun, and they love their life, because they are, I don't know, I get very sensitive when I kill a plant because I'm like, I just murdered something.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a Cancer. Like, that's my astrology sign. Everything has a personality and, life, and I get real sad when
I feel that way about electronics, so I feel you.
Exactly, right? So I will go with fresh cut flowers because I don't have them, all the time like I do my houseplants. My houseplants are always
Okay.
here. So
There you go.
yeah.
By the way, just dawned on me, we have an AI that introduces the segment, and I didn't play it.
This or that, and why?
Really on my A game today. All right, there you go. We got our AI worked in there. Your turn to ask me a question. Yes.
Yes. This or that and why? New place or fave spot?
Are we talking like a home, or are we talking about a restaurant kind of thing?
That's just what. So it's up to your interpretation.
Okay. New spot or an old fave? See, I like doing both, but I like my creature comforts. When I find a place I like, I gravitate to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Give me a familiar spot that I know who's cooking the food. I know who owns the place.
Yeah.
Like, give me
I know
Petite
my
Mills,
favorite
give me
dish.
Hometown Sports. In New Brunswick, give me Old Mall.
Ciao Italia.
There you go. Yes, Chow Italia for sure. Oh, we got to get back to Chow Italia before I go back down east. Yes, please. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, we gotta get
you
that.
know, now and then, yeah. Like you took me to Chow Italia for the first time and introduced me to a new.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah. So I'm not closing the door on that, but I will gravitate to the places that I know and love.
Nice.
All right, Zoe. We're recording this on a Sunday morning. You and I are just enjoying a coffee right now.
Wait, what? This is being recorded? I wasn't told. I'm very upset. I want to speak to the manager.
Text with my manager, who after 2.5 hours will tell you that.
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, too bad, so sad. Making a huge breakfast at home or going out to brunch.
Well, that's not fair. I'm about to go out to brunch.
As I'm reading it, I'm going, I know where this is.
Obviously, I want to go out for brunch.
Yeah, you do.
Mimosas are just not the same when made at home. I'm sorry.
Also, it's too early. Like, too early to shower. It's too early to start cooking stuff, too. Like, just
Yeah.
do that for me, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, I get to be hoity-toity for a few moments anyway. Yes, please go cook my hash browns for me.
Please make my eggs sunny
Thank
side
you,
up.
Minion.
Thank you.
Oh, so fancy.
Yeah, I like a liquidy yolk. This or that, and why? Complete silence or music in the background? And this works
Oh.
perfectly with talking about that new bar.
I love both for so many different reasons, but more, I would say the pendulum would swing more to the music's on in the background side.
Yeah.
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 That's
Silence is
always been my comfort thing. Even like going to bed at night when I was a kid, I always had a radio. My boombox is always at the end of the bed, and I was always just scanning radio stations. When Sue and I first started dating and we were living together, that was one of the most difficult adjustments. Was that she likes TV at night? I like music at night, and the two are not the same.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, no,
For
it's music in the background for me. That's my preference. Although sometimes just sitting in complete silence for a little while is so soothing.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
soothing.
So soothing.
This or that and why, Zoe?
Okay.
Spring cleaning or spring ignoring?
Ooh.
Isn't that a great question? I love the phrasing.
Yes. I'm into the spring cleaning for sure. Like I had my windows open the other day trying to burp my house. Like, I was
My house.
and
love you.
I was out in the backyard raking up the leaves that didn't get raked up before the winter, and
Yeah.
I'm just I'm like excited because I see all the little buds on the trees and the little plants coming up in the garden. So yeah, I'm a spring clean gal.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah, I mean everyone likes the
yeah.
idea of it. Does anyone want to do it? No. Can people who can afford it pay for it to be done for them? Yes, absolutely. Am I jealous? Of course, 100%.
Well established how much crap is in this house. Zoe can attest to that because
Yeah.
there's places in this house we're not even going to let you see.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of spring cleaning. I need to spring clean. I'm spring ignoring because it's just I don't have the time. I don't have the time.
Fair.
All right, my turn to ask you. No, your turn to ask me.
Yes.
Pay attention, John.
This or that and why? One long meeting or 3 short meetings?
How about no meetings?
Yeah, I know. Honestly,
Good
I'm like, why
option.
was that not the option?
This meeting could have been
Because
an
that's
email.
the one everyone's gonna pick. No one wants meetings.
I mean, I'm in a world where I don't have meetings.
Yeah, you don't really. Well, yeah.
Like I get an email. Hey, can you talk about this? Hey, make sure to talk about that. But okay, I'll take myself back to my days where I was full-time employed. Not that we had meetings, which I always thought was weird. I'd rather have, you know what? I would rather have regular short meetings, especially coaching sessions.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You just get the team together for 20 minutes, 30 minutes every couple of weeks. just go over things, get everybody on the same page. I'm big on that, and I never had that.
Yep.
I longed for that. So that's what I'm voting for on this,
Okay.
that, and why. Hey, Zoe,
Yes.
would you rather get to work early or be able to stay late?
I like getting to work a bit early. Yep. I don't know. I like when the office is kind of empty and I can go wander and get my coffee and in silence, as they
Ease
say.
yourself into your day.
Yes, ease myself into my day as people start showing up. It's the good mornings as everyone comes in the door. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
always
I
felt
kind of like to
if
be there a
I
bit
stayed
early.
late, I almost felt like back in school when I was given detention, right?
Yeah, well, and then also just kind of by that time of the day, I'm like, I want to go home. I want to pet my
Yeah,
dogs. I want to,
yeah.
like just do anything
Things I got
else
to
but be in this
do.
office.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whereas
days
in the
caught up
morning,
with
it's
me.
like, yeah, I finished my walk. I'm going to get a coffee. I'm going to go sit down. I'm going to turn my computer on. I'm not going to rush. Like, that's kind of how I like it. So, yeah.
Anybody,
Johnny.
anybody who anybody who worked with me for years and years and years knows that I was always late because you could never rely on traffic, especially north south in the city. All the traffic reports talk about east west, right? Queensway's
Yes.
backed up at this. Queensway's backed up at that. I didn't take the Queensway. I was stuck with thousands of people in Colonel By Drive, never getting a traffic report and showing up at like 9:10, 9:15, which wasn't a big deal because the computer was playing the music anyway. But yeah, I was always wanted to get there earlier. Oh man, especially working in the Byward Market, go to a breakfast place, grab a coffee,
Mm-hmm.
pop into a new place here and there before you start your day. Yeah. As opposed to, later in the day, if I'm staying late, nah, I haven't got time to do this. I got this, and the other thing that are on my, list that I didn't get done today. And now Sue's, needing me to stop here and do this. I got too many things. Gotta go.
Yep. That's life.
Long way to say I agree with you, Zoe. All right, what do you
Yes.
got? What do you got for me?
Yeah. Final one, this or that, and why? Stay in a hotel or an Airbnb.
Hmm. I've never stayed in an Airbnb. Um. I guess it depends on the purpose of why I'm traveling in the first place. But I think I'm more reluctant. Just Airbnb is a fairly new thing. I'm more inclined to book a hotel room.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. Yep. Love a good hotel.
Although I've seen some Airbnbs that just look like why would I not want to spend a weekend in that house? you know, like just ah, for that moment I could be that rock star who has that mansion on a mountain overlooking an ocean with a helipad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Eh, but
Well,
yeah,
we'll dream.
if I'm going somewhere anytime soon, I'm not looking for an Airbnb. I'm looking at a hotel.
Yeah.
On hotels.com or whatever. I'm just, again,
Yeah.
creature of habit. All right, one last one for
All
you,
right.
Zoe, then we'll wrap things up.
Mm-hmm.
Text or call?
Text.
Call.
Because I actually answer mine.
I feel like that was a shot.
Yeah, my brother.
Oh, good. All right. I'm okay with that then.
Because I send him 3 messages and I get nothing. And then I follow up on said messages and get nothing. And then I have to tell my parents, who then tell him, and then I get a
Oh, you
message
told
from
your
him.
parents on him? Oh, no.
I'm tired of this. I
All
know he
right.
loves me. I know it, but still, answer your sister.
Answer your sister. Yes, answer your damn sister. Or we'll tell your mommy on you. That can't be cool.
Yeah.
No wonder he moved his ass to Vancouver. You're just not very
Well,
nice.
I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't be so upset if he didn't answer my text message if he lived in the same city, because then I'd just go to his house.
All right, you're late for brunch and
Knock on
we're
the
over
door.
time. It's time to wrap
Yeah.
this show online. We are zmshow.com. Our thanks again to McCarthy Automotive, 1150 Heron Road, for all of your automotive service and maintenance needs. Family owned and operated for well over 20 years now. McCarthyautomotive.ca.
And if you like what you heard, please spread the word. And as always, ta-ta for now. TTFN, go Sens!